Euro USD looks like it could drop like a rock. Stick around and I'll show you what I see. Hi, this is Tim from Trading Strategy Guides. It appears to me that Euro USD is about to drop a bit, or not. Who really knows? You're probably pretty tired of hearing me say that because all the analysts you listen to are telling you this or that is definitely going to happen, and you know you're going to put everything you've got on their word. Well, don't do that. No one knows exactly what the market is going to do, and I'm going to tell you that every time I do one of these videos. Because if you don't get that through your skull, you will never be a profitable trader. Never bet the farm. For those of you that are not natural English speakers, that means you never trade with any money that you cannot afford to lose, because you will surely lose it. Enough about that. Let's look at the Euro USD. But first, a couple of reminders. If you make it through this whole video, I'll share another one of my trading maxims with you. Don't forget, you can speed up this video by clicking on the gear in the lower right here, selecting speed, and then speed it up to 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 3/4, or 2 times the speed of the video. So let's take a look at the Euro USD. As always, I like to start at the weekly chart and draw some support and resistance lines. So as requested, let me take a quick minute to give a lesson on this drawing support and resistance lines. Okay, and I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Let's talk about this line at 1:15.18. What you want to do is look to the left of your chart for pins or fractals or whatever you want to call them. A fractal officially is a candle with a lower low and or a higher high than the prior 2 candles or the subsequent 2 candles. So this right here is a fractal because it is a lower low than these 2 candles and a lower low than these 2 candles. This is a fractal. It's a lower low than these 2 candles, a lower low than these 2 candles. So I look for fractals, and that's where I place the line. Okay, once I place the line, then I move along that line and see where it was respected by other candles. So I use this pin to place this line initially. This line came close to it, this line came close to it, this one pushed through it a little bit. Remember, a line is never just a line, it's always a zone. So you have to think in terms of this being a zone. You can see that this pin is slightly lower than this one. Okay, these two respected the lines. You see these bodies right here came right up to the line, as did this one. So essentially what happened in these cases is price pushed through the line and then closed above it, and then it finally broke through on this candle and moved on below it. But you can see that it's still being respected by this pin here, these here, and so on. Okay, that's essentially what it takes to draw a line. Okay, I'm going to say this one more time. A line is never just a line, it's always a zone. Get used to hearing that because I say it a lot. Okay, I usually place a couple of lines above the current price level and a couple of lines below it. I also like to add prominent weekly trend lines. So this one I think is a pretty prominent line because it starts at the biggest swing high, and I placed it through the nearest candles here, which I think is the best way to place a trend line. But keep in mind, trend lines are just like everything else. They're not exactly precise, and it's important that you understand that none of this is highly precise. Okay, you need to put these lines where they seem to be obvious. Okay, there are lots of places to place trend lines. I mean, even right here, this trend line could easily just go through here. or you could have a trend line that went through here. Okay, none of these are wrong. And I hate to confuse any new traders by saying that, but every one of these trend lines is right. This is a very subjective process. Okay, you need to pick out the trend line or trend lines that seem the most obvious, because you can expect the most number of traders to be using those lines. Okay, I'm a programmer and an engineer by trade and training, and I'm used to things being precise, so I had to really unlearn that when it comes to trading. When I first started, the reason I stress this whole line as a zone thing is because when I started trading, I thought I could expect price to touch a line exactly and reverse. And of course, you know, I found out before too long that that wasn't the case. So always keep that in mind when you draw your lines. Your lines are never going to be precisely in exactly the same place. You know, this line could be several pips on either side of this one. Okay, I'd be glad to share where I've placed lines so you guys get some idea, but this is not an exact science. All right. Now, about the price action on this chart, as you can see, the price has been stalling at these two levels, this 1307, 113.07, and this 112.37. Okay, price has been stalling here for weeks, way back to July and August. Okay, it held here for a little while, pushed through, and then it dropped down, and now it's holding. Then it held here, and now it's pushed down, and it's dropping lower again. Okay, you can see the most recent push came last Friday, pushed down to the 61.8% Fibonacci. Some of you may know I like to pull a Fibonacci from the prior move. This is the prior move. This pulled down and stalled at the 61.8% Fibonacci level, and it's pulled back just a little bit. Okay, let's drill down to the daily chart now and see what's going on. Okay, this is obviously just a little bit closer detail. This is that weekly trend line. These are the weekly support and resistance lines that I drew. Here's the 61.8. Price pushed down, pushed through that just a little bit, and has popped up. Okay, now you can see that that happened with huge volume. This big move last Friday. Actually, I guess that move was on Thursday. This big move with Thursday, the push back up, it has got reducing volume. Okay, so this move down was heavy volume. These pullbacks are reducing, continually reducing volume. You can see this move down right here happened with increasing volume. When it finally hit this low and started to push back up, volume reduced until it was under the line. This is the WADA ATAR explosion. This is a different WA indicator than I was using last week. I think I like this one better, the WAE_SH. It came with my TradingView platform. Both of them did. I think I like this one better. It's a little easier to read. I'm pretty sure that the data is the same between the two. Okay, so where we are right here, it seems to be maybe stalling right here at the 112.37. It could push back up here to the 113.07. You can see historically when it broke a level, it has pushed on down, but it's retested that level a few times. So be fluid here, be flexible. This could push back up to this level. It could push all the way back up to the trend line. It could drop from where we are, or it could drop from up here. As an analyst, you know, I would look at this and say, well, this is going down. But that's not helpful for traders. Traders have to know when it's going down and how much it's going to go up before it goes down. Well, you don't really need to know that. You just need to know that it can do that. And so you probably want to find a place here to get short, and you might want to drill down to the 4-hour chart to do that. Always protect the upside though, because if this pushes back up, you want to be out of it until it hits another resistance level, and then you could consider shorting it there. Always remember that volume support is important. It doesn't hurt to get support from other indicators. You know, everybody complains that indicators are lagging, but the truth is an indicator gives you an idea historically of what's been going on, and that's really all we've got to go by is what did this price action do, and can we anticipate that it'll do the same thing in the future. Okay, you made it, and now I'll keep my promise and reveal another one of my trading maxims. As usual, they are in no particular order, just the order I thought about them and wrote them down. Today it's number 3, and I've already said this one earlier. Never bet the farm. In other words, you should never allow any one trade to make you or break you. I think the term never bet the farm may be an Americanism. For those of you who are not American or in the U.S., it means don't risk everything you have on a venture. Never risk anything you can't afford to lose, because no trade is 100% sure. Unless, of course, you've got a crystal ball or a time machine or something like that. But I'm going to assume that that's not the case. Okay? In case you're interested, this beautiful scene right here is shot at the Cherokee Landing Campground, and that's a Thousand Trails Resort in Salisbury, Tennessee. It is a very peaceful and beautiful place. My family and I like to spend time here. Okay? Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up below. If you want to see more, click the subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell so that you'll be notified when new videos appear. See you next time.